Yes, ma'am. What is your doubt, Sharanya? Okay, can you go to your program? Yeah, you go up. Okay, have you tried with an empty window first without adding any labels? Have you got that window? Because I think you are adding all the labels, text boxes, button, everything in this. Okay, okay, you got it right. Okay, so now you go to yeah, you go to starting of this program. Please go import window dot geometry 100 cross 100. Next hall ticket number. Okay, the label class is it's the capital L, right? And label it's a capital L, right? Okay, okay, go up. Once you go up, label window text is equals to article number dot grade row 0 column 0 text box. These all are capital letters, ma. L capital, E capital, in entry E capital. These are actually these all are okay. Okay, 1 minute, go back. Button, have you changed button? Button also be capital. What is the text is equals to 10? Button window comma text is equals to, you are supposed to write the text what you want to appear on button. For example, like login, like that. It should be in double quotes and it should be a string. What is that hall ticket number? Okay, once you go up, please go up once. Don't run the program. Just hall ticket number is one label. Okay, fine. Next, you have some text box entry. Okay, that is a okay. Next, you have name is one label. Next, we have one more text box for the label. Next, father name, that is also label. Next, text box 3, mobile is one more label. Next, text box 4, email, one more label. Next, text box 5. Okay, hall ticket number dot back. Text box 1, name. Are all the spellings are correct? Whatever the spellings you are written, hall ticket number, TB1, all are correct. Okay, now you run this program. What error you are getting? What is the error? Window geometry 100 across 100. 9x return self dot call geometry self window. Okay, you remove that geometry function. window geometry, that 100 is there na? Remove that. Okay, now you run this program. All ticket number dot pack. Attribute error, none type object has no attribute pack. Okay, okay. You go up. All ticket number. It's a label, right? Yeah. Next you come down. HTNO dot pack. TB1 dot pack. Next, come down. Next. Okay. So I think some these are actually most of the case sensitive errors only. Okay, if you are using some small letter, capital letter, difficult to identify. So you do one thing, ma. First you try with only two labels, two text boxes, and one button. Okay, and you slowly. That's why yesterday I told you. I slowly started with labels, only labels. Next I added only text boxes. Next I added only button. Like that you try to extend, because if you are using okay, it was showing geometry error, means the problem is in this app. Okay, the geometry function is not supporting. That is the problem. Okay. Yeah, that's what this app is there now. This Android app is not supporting that geometry. Already I told you the reason also. The reason is the resolution of the mobile is different. The resolution of the laptop or computer is different. So in laptop or computer, I can minimize, I can maximize my window with the help of geometry function. But in mobile, okay, so the resolution is different. So that's why geometry function is not supported by some of the apps in the Android. The reason is very simple, because you don't have the minimization, maximization, resizing of window flexibility is not there. That is the problem. Okay, without using geometry function, it is showing an empty window. Empty window means nothing is getting, like labels, text boxes. You are not getting anything. Yes, yes. Slavani, you can share your screen. Okay, so if you are not getting geometry function in the in these type of apps, my suggestion is go with some online interpreter. Go with some online Python interpreter. Okay, and you practice it. That is a suggestion, because there is a problem with the apps, especially this window resizing problem is there. It's not only it's not only in one single app. It's there in almost all the apps. Okay, that is because not only this GUI. If you want to see some website in your mobile and in your laptop, then definitely there are some issues. You will find it out some issues. Same thing here also. Okay, what happened, ma? Sravani, are you getting any errors or any? Are you getting output or not? Yes. Please run your program. Please run your code.
Sir, actually, when I'm using geometric function, it's not getting displayed, sir. Anything, the window is completely empty.
I think you are working in laptop or computer, right?
So it's laptop, sir.
Laptop. Then you open your program. What you are getting? Geometry function is not working.
Yes, sir.
How you know that geometry is not working? What is the size you are given? You change
Sir,
the size. You change the size. You change it to some 800 by 800 or some big numbers. You give some big numbers.
is it visible, sir?
Yes, visible. Okay, what
Actually,
is what is the error you are getting?
So it's showing like bad geometric specifier 800 into 800.
Not into, it's x, small x.
Okay, sir.
Okay, you are supposed to use small x. Okay, now it will work. Right?
I got it, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay, ma. Yeah. So if there are any other questions, okay, so we'll discuss. I'll continue this topic. My suggestion is regarding this geometry, some issues are there with the apps. Okay, whenever you are working with mobile, this geometry will not work. Okay, if it doesn't give any error, also you don't see any update, even though if you change the geometry dimensions. The reason is okay, it's not like computer or mobile. Mobile is having different resolution, so that is the problem. So that problem, if you want to see the exact output, my suggestion is try to prefer some online interpreter, online Python interpreters. So many online interpreters are available. You can go with any one of the interpreter and you can practice. Okay, so I hope all of you understood the program what we written in yesterday's class. That is creating some GUI form for login, right? Okay, so now I want to add some more controls or some more widgets. Okay, so what are the widgets we want to add? So I'll tell you what are the widgets we are going to discuss in today's class. Okay, I think we discussed about text box. We discussed about I list out what are the things what we covered yesterday. Label we covered. Text box, nothing but entry. Entry we covered. Always whenever you are going to use this, okay, all are capital letters only. First letter is capital, L is capital, E is capital, B is capital in your program. I'm talking about in your program. Okay. Next we seen label, entry, button. That's it, right? So now I think I didn't explain about checkbox, right? So now we'll see checkbox. Checkbox. We'll see radio button, and we'll see some spin box. Okay, and we'll see list box. Okay, and yeah, first we'll focus on these things. Later we'll go for some other options like frames. We'll focus on frame, and we'll focus on the other widgets. Mostly we are going to use these widgets only. Okay, you can use menu also. If you want to use, you can use menu. Okay, so I think all of you know what is meant by checkbox. What is checkbox? All of you aware of this checkbox, especially when you are going to download any software, when you are when you are trying to install any software, you are going to check, you are going to tick terms and conditions. I accept terms and conditions. There you are going to give a tick in the checkbox. That is nothing but checkbox, right? I hope all of you are aware of the checkbox, right? Where you are going to give a tick in the terms and conditions. That is nothing but yes, we can change. That is, we'll see. We'll get all these things. I think all of you know, right? The checkbox concept. What is meant by checkbox? Checkbox is nothing but, okay, so you can give multiple options. Radio button is nothing but, radio button is selecting single option, selecting one option. Its radio button is very similar to your MCQs. Okay, are you A, B, C, D? You are going to select either A or B or C or D. Okay, only one answer from the 4 options. Checkbox is multiple options. You can select both, multiple. Means A, B, C, D. You can select A and B and C and D. This is nothing but AND operation. Radio button is nothing but OR operation. Okay, so now we'll see how these things will be implemented in Python. Okay, so first we'll go for checkbox, and how we are going to design checkbox we'll see, and later we'll go for radio button. Okay, so already I told you the common syntax. Okay, so the common syntax for any widget. We are talking about checkbox. So from tkinter, this is a package from tkinter, import the star. So I'm going to import all the modules. Next, I'm going to create a window. Window is equals to this tkinter window I'm going to create. Next, I'm going to create one variable. Okay, so why I'm going to create this variable, I'll tell you. This variable is nothing but integer variable, int where. I'll tell you what is meant by this integer variable. So now check button. This is known as actually check button. Check button. All of you already told you. So whenever you are using all the widgets, first letter is capital. So here if you observe, I written first letter capital. Similarly, label L capital, button B capital, text entry E capital, like that. Check button, and I want to use this in window. And what I want here, I want here text is equals to, I want here, I want some SSC. Okay, so and I want to give some variable is equals to variable 1, and I am going to use grid. Already yesterday I told you what is meant by grid. If you don't want to use any grid also, no problem. Next, I want to create one more variable. Variable 2 is equals to int variable, int of where. Okay, so this variable 1 is nothing but it's going to take the value of this check button, and this variable 2 is going to take the value of this check button 2. Okay, so this check button 2, I'll give some value. So I can call this value as a IPE, intermediate. Okay, and value is variable 2. And similarly, I want to create one more checkbox here. I want to create one more checkbox. This is variable 3, and I want to create some UG. Variable 2 is nothing but this is going to take the variable 3. Okay, so these are the 3 checkboxes I'm going to create, and I'll add all these things. Okay, so window.main loop. Window.main loop. Okay, so now I'll save this. Okay, so now nothing is installed, means nothing we are getting. Why? Because already I told you the reason. The reason is we are not using any type of pack. Okay, if you don't use pack, nothing will be appeared. So that's why you are going to use pack. Okay, so you can call this as C1, and you can call this as C2, and you can call this as C3. So C1 dot pack, C2 dot pack, 3 dot. So now all of you please observe here. We got 3 checkboxes. As I said, checkbox is nothing but end operation. So I can select this, I can select this, I can select this also. So these are the 3 okay. So 3 checkboxes, one for SSC, one for intermediate, and one for UC, right? So now if you want to change the dimension, you can change it here. Window dot geometry, you can give some size 700 cross 700. So now I want to show you. So these are the 3 checkboxes what we written. So I hope all of you understood what is meant by checkbox, right? Checkbox is nothing but it's going to take more than one value. So you can tick all the checkboxes. Understood? Any doubts in this program? Any doubts? Please let me know if you have any doubts. I hope it is clear, right? How to create a checkbox. Right. Okay. Now we'll go for list box. Okay. So list box is also, it's look like some checkbox only. Okay. So I'll write the list box program. So I want to write some list box. Okay. So here I'm going to change all these things because this is as usual. So I am going to create some list box. List box LB is equals to, I'm going to write list box of window. Okay. List box dot insert. I'm going to add some values. Okay. So first value I'm going to add something like India. Okay. I'm going to add some countries names in the list box. I'm going to add some countries names in the list box. So I'm going to add this like that. I'm going to add some 5 countries. So second country, I'm going to add some okay, USA. Third, I want to add some Sri Lanka, Australia. I want to add some England. Okay, so just I added, I created an empty list box, and I added some values in the list box. And once this is done, then we are going to pack this list box, lb.pack, list box dot pack. And once it is packed, then we are going to display. For the display purpose, we are going to use window.main. Okay, so now I'm going to save this program. So, okay, so this is a list box. If you observe, this is a list. In this list, what are the values I added from the program? All are appeared here. Okay, so just you see here, these are the values I added in the list box. So you can select any one value. At a time, you can select only one item from this list. So this is nothing but a list box. Okay, you can select one value from the list of values, right? Okay, understood about list box? Any doubts? Very simple, just creating a list box. Okay, and adding any number of okay, actually this is optional. Actually, this position, if you want to use this position, okay, or if you don't want, you can neglect it. It is optional actually. So if you want, you can use some values like 3, 4, 5 also. That is up to you. but directly without giving this this position also, you can directly give these values also. Okay, this parameter, this first parameter is optional. Okay, but this parameter is nothing but the value what you want to add to list. Understood? Any doubts now? List box, any doubts regarding list box? Please respond if you have any doubts. Okay, so if you don't have any doubts, then we'll go for other widgets. Okay, I think all of you understood the purpose why we are discussing about these widgets. All these type of widgets will be used in the GUI programming. If you want to write some GUI application, you may have to use checkbox, you may have to use radio button, you may have to use button, you may have to use text box, radio button, checkbox. So many widgets you are going to use depending on your requirement. Now I'll go for radio button. Okay, so radio button is the next widget. Radio button. Okay, so same this syntax is common for all the components. Just I'm importing all the modules and I'm creating window. Okay, and here I'm going to create some variable. Variable I can call it as v. V is equals to integer variable. This is a value it is going to take. So now I am going to take R1 is radio button 1, radio button, and it should be there in window, and text. Text I want to display is some mail. Okay, and the variable is equals to v, and value is equals to 1. Okay, so this is nothing but simply I am going to use this radio button 1. So what is meant by value means, if you selected particular radio button, you will get if you select particular radio button, then you will get some value. If you don't select, then you will get some other value. For example, enabled, disabled. So sometimes what you will do, you will select male. Sometimes what you will do, you will select female. Depending on the radio button, if you selected first radio button, you will get value 1. If you selected this female radio button, then you will get the value 2. Okay, so this is, I can call it as R2, radio button 2. R2 is one more radio button. So, and the value I am going to display is female. R1 dot pack, R2 dot pack, and window dot main do. So now I'll save this program. Okay, so now if you observe here, this is male and female, right? If I am clicking one radio button, other will be disabled. So that's why I told you this is either or. If you select male, then female will be disabled. If we select female, male will be disabled. Okay, I think it is visible, right? Is it visible? Is it visible or not? This is male and female. Okay, so if I select male, female will be disabled. If I select female, the male will be disabled. Okay, what about checkbox? In checkbox, in the previous example, I written SSC, IPE, UG. SSC is one checkbox, IPE is one more checkbox, UG is one more checkbox. Then what happened? If I selected SSC, I can select IPE also, I can select UG also. I can select all the 3 checkboxes. But what happened to this radio button? Radio button is either or. So for example, this is a gender. So gender may be male or female. It not both. Okay, it's either or option. Like I told you one more example. MCQ. Okay, multiple choice questions. The answer may be A or B or C or D. Okay, so if you want to design any type of MCQs or any type of applications where your answer is unique, okay, one answer from the multiple options, then you are going to use this radio button. Understood? Any doubts regarding radio button? Understood? Understood, ma? Please respond, remaining students. Any doubts? Okay. Okay, so now we'll go for message box. Okay, before going to message box, I want to explain about one more widget, that is a text box. A text box is of two types actually. One text box is already we seen in the form of entry. Okay, so what about other type of text box means? Sometimes what will happen is like you want to type your address. You want to type your address. If you want to type your address, then what you are going to use? You are going to use a big text box. It's not like a normal text box where you are going to type your username or password. Okay, if you want to type username or password, you'll use a single text box. Okay, means only one line you'll find it out. But if you want to type some comment, or if you want to type some review, or if you want to type some address, or if you want to write some description, then what type of text boxes you are going to use? You are going to use some big text boxes. Okay, big text boxes means the height and width of the text box is going to be increased. I hope all of you understood the difference, right? Okay, so whenever you are going to, you want to write a review about a movie. Okay, so you don't use normal text box. They are going to give a big text box where you are going to write some 100 words or 200 words like that. So it's not a simple text box like what we seen in yesterday's class. Okay, or you want to write some address, you want to type your address is not going to be completed in one line, so they are going to give multiple lines. In the text box you can write multiple lines. Okay, you can write in first line, you can write for example house number. Second line you can write your street number, okay, or street name. You can write next you can write your city name, you can write your mandal name, district name. Okay, so maybe you can write in 5 lines, 6 lines like that. So that type of text box we can call it as text box. Normal simple one line text box we can call it as an entry. Okay, so now we'll see how we are going to use the text box. Just I'm creating a T. T is nothing but it's a text. The text of I want to insert this in window. I want to mention height and width. Height is equals to some 10 and width is equals to some 20. I can say some 40. Okay. So T dot pack. T window dot window. Okay. So now I want to save this. Okay, so this is a very big text box. Okay, you can write in multiple lines. You can type the comment in multiple lines. Okay, I hope you understood the difference between this text box and the text box what we seen in yesterday's class, right? Understood, right? So this is the text box, or we can say in some of the languages we can call this as a text area. Text area means a big text box where you can type multiple lines of text. Okay, whenever you are writing any type of description or any type of review, okay, then they are going to give this type of text boxes only. Okay, so this is one of the important widget. Next we'll go for menu. Okay, what is meant by menu? I think all of you are, okay, before going to menu, we'll go for spin box. Okay, it is very simple control actually. So what is the meaning of spin box? Spin box is nothing but I have some control, I have some it's a type of drop down where we'll get multiple values. Spin box. Okay, so window is equals to, this is common code already I told you. Now I want to create spin box. SB is equals to spin box. I want to create spin box, and I want to add this in window. And from where I want to start? I want to start from 0. Okay, and I want to continue till 10. Okay, so 0 to 10 I want to write, and spin box dot pack. Okay, and window dot main loop. So this is the program for spin box. So means it is going to give us numbers from 0 to 10 by using arrows. I'll show you how it's going to give numbers. Here window dot geometry. For example, I can write 600 cross 600. Okay. So now I want to run this. Okay. If you observe here, this is a spin box. If you go to the upper arrow, it's going to increase the numbers. It's changing from 0 to 10. It will give us 0 to 10. If you go to down arrow, it will give 10 to 0. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. If you go to upper arrow, it is giving 0 to 10. Right. Visible, right? Is it visible? Okay. So once again, I'll show you. Okay. So this is if you use upper arrow, you'll get the numbers. You can change the range in the program. I given from 0 to 10. If you want, you can change the range. Whatever the numbers you want, you can give that numbers. Okay. So this is spin box. Okay. Next. So these all are the common controls or common widgets we are going to use in most of the GUI programs. Okay. So mostly we are going to use all these controls, but in all these controls, okay, the main focus is on text box, button, label, checkbox, radio button. So these 5 controls are going to be used mostly, and remaining controls we may not use. Okay, but the thing is, you should know and you should remember. Sometimes we are going to use some controls or some widget like menu. Okay, next we are going for the menu. Menu is one of the widget. So how can we create a menu in Python? Okay, so now I am going to create some menu. Menu is equals to menu, and I want to create this menu in window. Menu in window. Okay. So now menu is created. Now I want to add this some items. Menu dot add underscore cascade. Cascade is the function. Menu dot add underscore cascade, and I want to give some label. I want to give some label. What label you want to give? You can give some name. For example, I want to give some ABC. Okay. And menu is equals to, you can write any name here. So before that, I need to config this window.config this menu is equals to menu. Now I want to create some ABC menu. ABC menu is equals to menu of menu. Yes, I'm going to create some menu. Okay, so here is ABC menu. Just I'm giving some name. You can give any name, that is up to you. What type of things you want to add. So now I created a menu. Menu name is ABC. What is meant by menu? First of all, this is a menu. Whatever you are seeing here, this is a menu. This is a file menu. In file menu, what are there? New file is there. Open is there. Open module is there. These are the menu items. Edit is a menu item. Okay, so in this, so many options are there. Format, all these things. We are going to create this type of menu only through Python program. Okay, we are going to create this type of menu only. Okay, so I am trying to create some menu using this program. So now I can add ABC menu dot add command. So here I want to add some command. What command I want to add? Label is equals to, you can add something like, you can add anything. I am writing some XYZ. I'm adding some XYZ. Okay. And similarly, you can add some more commands. Okay. So you want to add some capital ABC, some DEF. Okay. You can write anything. Here you can write anything. DEF or, okay. So you can write your name also. So now, just I'm going to add all these things. Menu dot add window dot main loop. I'll explain if the student, if anyone of you are not understood, I'll explain. Concat minute, we got some error. I'm going to pack this ABC menu. Okay, so here I am trying to create some menu. Okay, in that menu I am trying to add some items. Okay, ABC is one item, XYZ is one more item. and capital ABC is one more item, DEF is one more item. Okay, so here I am going to add all these items. So ABC menu. For this menu, I am adding ABC and XYZ, ABC, DEF, GHI. Okay, and finally, I am going to display all these things. 1 minute. I'll show you how this will looks like. So this is a simple program. Just I removed all the complexities. I'll run this program. Okay, so now if you observe here, this is menu item 1, menu item 2, menu item 3. This is menu. What I'm talking about, this is menu, right? Menu item 1, menu item 2, menu item 3. If you want to add sub items, you can add sub items also by using add cascade function. Okay, just I added 3 menu items, menu item 1, menu item 2, menu item 3. So this is nothing but menu, like your file, edit, shell, debug, options, window, help. So how we are having all these menu items? In the same way, we added the menu items 1, menu item 2, menu item 3. Understood? Understood, ma? All of you understood? Okay. So, yeah. For example, I want to display some information in the message box. I want to display some information in the message box. Then how can I display some information in the message box? Actually, message box is a separate. Message box is used for displaying some information to the user. For example, you are using some app. You are using some app. Okay, it's asking your name, username, and password. If you are not given some username, it's going to give you some message. Please enter username. So that please enter username can be given in different formats. It can be given in the form of warning. It can be given in the form of error. It can be given in the form of normal message. It can be given in the form of some suggestion. So in different ways, that statement we can find it out. Okay, so that can be done by using message box. Message box is nothing but it is one of the widget in Python used to give a message to the user. So that message box we'll see in tomorrow's class. Actually, that is also one of the commonly used widget for this Python GUI programs. We'll see in tomorrow's class, and after that I'll start some project. Tomorrow onwards, I'll start a small project. After message box, I'll start small project. Okay, and we'll try to complete one project, and I'll give some inputs. Okay, to you, and you are supposed to implement some other projects. I'll explain 1 or 2 projects, and I'll give you some projects. I'll give some inputs. Okay, I'll give some title, project title. You are supposed to implement by your own. If any inputs required, I'll give. So that is the next next 2 or 3 classes schedule. Okay, so please practice the programs what we are discussing with respect to geometry and with respect to these things. My suggestion is, if you are, I know some of the apps are okay not working fine, especially for implementing GUI applications. The only thing is, maybe you can prefer some online interpreters only for doing any GUI related application. That is my suggestion. Sir, now I am getting output in. Yeah, I am not talking about the app what you are using. Okay, in general, I am talking. Okay, in most of the apps, there is no support for the geometry. The reason is the resolution is different. Okay, so if you are using some apps may support, some apps may not support. The only reason is why? Because the resolution of the mobile is itself is a less resolution. Again, if you are trying to minimize the resolution, okay, so that's why some of the apps are not going to support that geometry function. Okay, maybe you'll find some little issues in GUI programming while working in mobile. So if you're having any that type of issues, then my suggestion is go with some online interpreters, and you won't find any issues in the online interpreter. Okay, so I'll stop here. If there are any doubts or anything, we'll discuss in tomorrow's class. Okay, so stop here. Okay, thank you.